الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء الحسنى.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين يكنزون الذهب والفضة ولا ينفقونها في سبيل الله فبشرهم بعذاب أليم يوم يحمى عليها في نار جهنم فتقوى بها جباههم وجنوبهم وظهورهم هذا ما كنزتم لأنفسكم فذوقوا ما كنتم تكنزون. I read an ayat in Surah At-Tawbah which starts from 33 ayat until about 35. So between ayat number 33 and 35 in Surah At-Tawbah, I read the ayat. These two ayats are telling us that if we have treasure of gold or silver and we do not give zakat in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that give them the glad tidings of a severe punishment. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says tabshir, fabashirhum, tabshir normally means glad tidings, but this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mocking. That this is a dangerous time, that if wealth is given to you by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the real owner of wealth is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are not the real owners. If we were the real owner, it would stay with us all our time, for eternity. It's not going to stay with us. Today we have the wealth, tomorrow it goes to someone else. When we die, it goes to the children or someone else, then it goes down, 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 down. Until no one own it, it will all go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the right to say that don't keep anything. Give everything in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? Or anything extra, like in the beginning, it will say, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ قُلِ الْأَفْوَ. The Sahabas ask, what should we spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ الْأَفْوَ. Anything which is extra you don't need, give in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not compulsory that on this ummah. In the beginning, it varied. At the end, the rule regulation was that certain amount of wealth you have to have and certain amount of wealth you have to give in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a lot of conditions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran Kareem over here, the Surah Tawbah ayat I read, the يَوْمَ يُحْمَى عَلَيْهَا فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمَ فَتُقْوَى بِهَا جِبَاهُمْ وَجُنُوبُهُمْ وَظُهُورُهُمْ. Those people who hoard their wealth, do not give in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that wealth, that money, that gold, silver will be heated up in the fire of Jahannam. Then that person who did not give zakat in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will get scored with it, branded with it on his forehead. Aliha fi nari jahannam fatuqwa biha jibahu. On his side, on his back, and he will be said, هَذَا مَا كَنَزْتُمْ لِأَنفُسِكُمْ فَذُوقُوا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْنِزُونَ. This is the wealth that you have treasured for yourself. Now taste it. Does it feel good? Anyway, Rasulullah, I just want to indicate to some the importance of paying zakat. which has to be properly calculated, properly paid on the right time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just indicated over here that there will be punishments. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has informed us through a lot of hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which has been collected by Imam Muslim and various muhaddithin, and which are indicating that this punishment where the wealth will either change in the form of a big python, which because of the venom inside it will be totally bald and will be running after the person who did not pay zakat. He'll be running from it, then he will have no choice. He put his hand inside it and he will be chewing on his hand. This is Muslim, this hadith. And other punishments. Like, I don't want to go too in the detail. I'll give you one example. Like when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went for Mi'raj, on the way he's seen a lot of things. One of the things he's seen that people are just covering their private parts and grazing like animals. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Jibreel, "Who are these people?" Jibreel Amin said, "These are those people who did not pay their zakat." So this punishment of not paying zakat will be before they go to Jahannam, before the Hisab Kitab starts. And this is في يوم كان مقداره 50 ألف سنة. That day will be the length of that day will be 50,000 years. 50,000 years. So while the first thing I explained up to now is that it's important that we pay zakat properly. And we pay zakat. And if we do not pay zakat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the punishment is very severe. And also I said the owner of the wealth hakikatan is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it's by us, it's just a temple. So that's the first introduction. Early on, after Salat, I said that whatever thing gets compulsory on us, whatever amal gets compulsory on us, the masail, the necessity, basic masails get compulsory on us too. That's the rule. Now, when we are Muslims, we should know the basic aqidah of Islam. That's compulsory. Number two, when we reach to the age of puberty, Salat gets compulsory on us. We should know the basics of Salat. One, Hajj gets compulsory on us, is necessary that we know the basics of Hajj. Same, one Ramadan al-Mubarak comes, the fastings are compulsory on us. We should know the basics of Siyam. Broader things to know, the details, that's the ulama. That's their responsibility. And when zakat gets compulsory on us, we should know the basics of zakat. If we do not know the details, that's not a big thing. But the basics we have to know of zakat, which is farz. So that's why we have in a crash course, so we can learn the basics of zakat today. Let's start the conditions. Kitab al-Zakat. الزكاة واجبة على الحر المسلم البالغ العاقل إذا ملك نصابا ملكا تاما وحال عليه الحول وليس على صبي ولا مجنون ولا مكاتب زكاة. First masala. What are the conditions of zakat? Number one, the person who has to pay zakat, he has to be a free person, not a slave. I'll go through the conditions and I'll give the reference at the end, inshallah. Number two, the person has to be Muslim. It's not compulsory on a kafir. Number 3, the person has to be baligh, reach to the age of puberty. Number 4, al-aqil, sane. Zakat is compulsory on a sane person, not on an insane majnoon. Now, when I say sane, if anyone's depressed, alright, still zakat is compulsory. Everyone's depressed over here in this country. Yeah, sorry to say that. Yeah. So on majnoon means the person who doesn't totally understand, alright? Pagal. إذا ملك نصابا ملكا تاما. The word I'm going to explain now is nisab. Nisab is a certain amount of wealth. When you have that certain amount of wealth, then zakat, guess what? Compulsory on you. And there's 2 categories of nisab. I'll explain that in a few minutes, inshallah. But remember the word nisab, noon, swad, alif, ba, means that when you have that certain amount of wealth, then zakat will get compulsory on you. That's called nisab. What is that? I will come into that. This nisab has to be totally in your ownership, and I'll come to that too, inshallah. Once you have the nisab, the next condition is that a year has to circulate on it. Wahala alayhi al-hawl. Right? So my question is zakat wajib on a kid who's under the age of puberty? No. Is it wajib on a majnoon? No. Is it wajib on a slave? No. Is it wajib on a kafir? No. Alright? And also, the other condition is woman that the nisab you have is not covered by your debt. I'll explain that. Alright? If it's totally covered by your debt, alright, no zakat. If half of it is covered by your debt, so you deduct the debt and you pay zakat on the rest. Yeah. Now let's come to let's try to explain this. The first condition I said is compulsory on the person who's what? Free. Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu says that there's no zakat on a slave until that person is free. Daraqutni bring this hadith. Daraqutni bring this hadith. Should I give the reference or do I not need to give the reference? Yeah, what's your advice? Should we go through the reference quickly? Huh? Yeah? Yeah? Alright. So the cameraman is seeing difference. Alright. So Daraqutni brings hadith on the authority of Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu that there's no zakat on a slave. Why? Because that's hadith. But the real reason, one of the reasons is alright, because the slave doesn't own anything, everything is owned by the master. Yeah? Then I said al-Muslim, because all the khitabs are given zakat are to a Muslim, not a kafir. Yeah? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing, He's addressing who? The Muslims. Wa'atu zakat, eat out zakat. Alright? We said that the person has to be baligh aqil. reach to the age of puberty, and also has to be sane. Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrates a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. رفع القلم عن ثلاث عن النائم حتى يستيقظ وعن السبي حتى يحتلم وعن المجنون حتى يعقل. The Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the rule regulation are lifted from a person who's asleep until he wakes up. Number two, a child until he reaches to the age of puberty. Number three, a majnoon, an insane person until he comes sane. This hadith has been collected by Abu Dawood. And there's other hadiths on Akil and all that. I said that one of the condition is that you have to be a malik, a owner of nisab. Abu Sa'id Khudri radiallahu ta'ala anhu has brought a hadith that there's no zakat wajib until you have at least 5 camels. I'm not going into camels, alright? Yeah. You don't have camels. No zakat wajib until you have about 5 okia, which is about 200 dirhams. Yeah, 52 and a half. I'll come into that anyway. Alright? So no zakat wajib until you have 5 okia and other things too, Rasulullah sallallahu. This hadith has been collected by Abu Dawud. So this hadith is clearly telling us that you have to have a nisab, then zakat is wajib on you. And one of the conditions we put is that hawlani hawl. Hawlani hawl means what? A year has to circulate. Ali radiallahu ta'ala brings the hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the hadith it says that no zakat is wajib on you until you have the nisab and also when the whole year circulates on it. This hadith is also collected by Abu Dawud. And other hadiths like this too. So, nearly every masala will have a few hadiths. But I just try to explain one, right? Otherwise, I'll be here all day. And I'm going to go into details of this in a few minutes, inshallah. وَمَنْ كَانَ عَلَيْهِ دَيْنٌ مُحِيطٌ بِمَالِ فَلَا زَكَاةَ عَلَيْهِ. That if someone has a dain, a debt, which is covered in all his nisab or all his wealth, no zakat wajib on him. Usman ibn Affan radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, there's an asar, a sahabi called. The Rasulullah, he says that when the time of zakat comes, give zakat. But if you have dain on you, dain means qarad and what? Debt. Then pay the debt first, and if it's left, any wealth left, which reaches the amount of nisab, then pay zakat on them, otherwise no zakat. Muwatta Imam Malik brings this. Muwatta Imam Malik. I don't know if I have to say this, but zakah, yuzaki, zakat mean purifying. Alright? And in Islamic Shariat, it means that when you give certain amount of wealth to someone who is poor, and you make that person the owner of that wealth, who is not from your family member, usul furu, and not from the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'll come to explain all this anyway slowly. I said that Nisab. I said there's a certain amount of wealth you have to have, and then zakat will get compulsory on you, which I give the reference of. What is nisab? How much amount is nisab? So we'll try to write it down. Not very good in writing, but let's see what happens. Gold, alright? Yeah? First, Shariat was saying 20 mithqal. In the hadith, alright, you'll either read 20 dinar or 20 mithqal. So 20 mithqal. I should have wrote this by someone who writes. Alright? That's a mithqal.
The tolo que você garou,
Zira the polo kilo. 20 mithqal. In tola, it'd be 7.5. Yeah, tola. In grams is 87.48. Silver. I will explain this one. Just write it down as you go, then I'll explain it. 200 dirham. That's what hadith is to say, alright? 200 dirham. In tola, it'd be 52.5. Yeah? And in grams, it'd be 612.36.
So,
G.
is a tola the same as a body?
Yeah. Wait, let me come to that. I think so. Body, I think. How many grams is in the body? I think 11.5. So if it's yeah, I'm coming to that. So it looks like is the tola and the body the same, because the tola used to be 12 grams before. The tola used to be, the ounce used to be how many grams? 12. Then it came to 11 grams. Now it's 10 grams. Yeah. So I think so the same kind of thing. Let's go. Let's. So in Sharia the Mutahara, right? Because we don't have. If anyone have camels or do that, it's up different. You got cows, camels, sheep? No, no, no horses. All right.
Not this year.
Not yet.
Not this year.
Not this year. Right? So we do the gold and the silver hisab. So in hadith, alright, you will find that the nisab of gold is 20 mithqal or 20 dinar, which in tola, in ounce, is 7.5 tola. And in grams today, in today's date is 87.48. Yeah, grams. 87.48 grams. Yeah. So, and before in one tola, in 1 ounce, there used to be 12 grams. Then it came to 11 grams. Now it's come in one tola is what? 10 grams. So the tola has changed too. You know, everything is not the same. The body has changed too now. Yeah? Understand? Now, silver, in the hadith of Rasulullah, the nisab will be 200 dirham. So ulama use grains. Alright? First they use what? Grains. And that's why you see, if you want to read all this, so you find grains, that many grains, that many grains, that many grains. Alright? Then they come to tola, which is 52.5 tola. And in what grams is 612 gram point 36. Today's rate, last night rate, not today's, last night rate, alright, per gram is 115 pound 67p. And silver is 1 pound 88 pence. 1 pound 88 pence. Last year, what was it last year?
So we did this 2 years ago, sir.
Yeah, it's something 75 pound.
2023, the nisab value was 4,327 for gold, 4 grams.
Yeah.
Now it's 10,180.
Yeah,
Is that £1.88? Is it for the silver? one?
yeah. So did we do 75 pence last year?
Uh,
75 pence, something like that. The last time I told you guys was 75 pence, and I think 2 years ago is about 50, 58, 59 pence. We done it last year too in the Jummah. Could you remember how much? Anyway, whatever it was, is a bit. Everything's gone very expensive now. All right. So when we say 1 ounce, yeah. So how much is 87.48 nowadays? How much is it today? 10,000 something? Well, could you tell me the exact figure?
115 times by 87.48.
Yeah.
10,118.81.
Basically 10,120. Yeah. And the silver? So the silver 612 times 188.
1.8,
Yeah, 1.8.
I don't get this.
I'll come now.
1,151.23.
1,152
151.
Becky, yeah? Just keep it as a gram, yeah? So if someone has nisab, then zakat will get compulsory on them. Now, either they have just gold, all right, 87.48, Jazakallah khair, or either they have just silver, 612. Any of these they have, zakat will get compulsory. But if someone has zakat, if someone has mix, like we have pounds, all right, and we'll have what? A bit of silver, a bit of gold. Then you have to calculate it all together. Whichever nisab you reach, all right, zakat will get compulsory on you. So for instance, you got 5,000 pounds under your mattress, yeah, and you got about 10 grams of what we call it silver, and 200 grams of what gold, yeah. So what you do, you calculate all that, and if it comes up to 1,152 pounds, zakat is compulsory on you, yeah. Or if it comes up to that, that's very good. But whenever nisab you reach to first, all right, zakat will get compulsory on you. Is that clear?
Is it?
What if you got the mixed thing, you know that?
That's what I'm saying, Ustad. If you have the mixing, you have some money,
Yeah.
some silver, some what you call it gold, you add it all up and see what the keemat is, the value is.
Okay.
If the value reaches any the nisab, this one or this one, you pay zakat. The way it's looking, the silver is getting closer to the gold now. Yeah, it might be come at the same time like it used to be before. Silver and gold used to be nearly the same kind of what we call it value. Yeah,
So we make all these, you know, into pounds. You know?
yeah,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
If you don't have silver
Yeah.
and you have gold that doesn't meet the gold nisab, but beneath the silver nisab, you still give zakat.
If you have just gold,
So I have, for example, gold in pounds, no silver, and you
if you have the first question is if you have just gold, then just no pounds, no silver, just gold, then you have to have 87.48, then zakat is wajib. First, remember that. If you have just silver, no pounds, no gold, then that has to reach to the nisab of 612.36 grams. But normally it's not like that. Someone can have $1, like 10 grams of what? Gold. But on top of them, they have £1 in their pocket. yeah, then they have to combine it and see which value it is. For instance, you only got 10 grams of what? Gold. Now that is not the nisab of what? Zakat, is it? No. But when you have, and you have, if you have other money with it under the mattress, then you have to combine it, then value it. Does it reach to the nisab or not? Obviously, if you have 10 grams of gold and you got 20 pound, which is free of any kind of colors, then you combine it, what you call it, which is, how much is it? 100 pound. 100, it'd be more than 1,000 pound, more than 1,200 pound, then, isn't it? If it's more than 1,200 pound, you have to pay zakat on that.
So basically, so therefore, if it's under, given with your example, what the 10 grams of gold and 20 pounds in cash, free of debt, then your value of nisab will be based on the value of silver.
Yeah, silver, yeah. Which is what? 1,152 pound.
Just going back to the previous example of yours on the board, 5,000 pounds cash, 10 grams of silver, and 200 grams of gold.
Yeah.
Already, of course, that is hit the nisab because it's 200 grams
Yeah.
of gold. But say in that example, I change the gold to say 84. Say 84.
What do you say? Change it to, give me an example.
84 grams of gold.
84 grams of gold,
So,
alright?
according to that, you are just under the nisab of gold.
Yeah.
However, then you add the 5,000 pounds, which is free of debt.
Yeah.
So then you combine the value of those. If that's over the 20 mithqal,
200 dirham.
over 220 dirhams.
Yeah, this over 612 dirhams, yeah.
Okay, I mean that will with that calculation that'll definitely be over the gold nisab.
Gold nisab or the silver nisab.
But it'll certainly be over the silver nisab.
And you might go over the gold nisab too.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So then you have to pay zakat on that.
Indeed.
So what's the misunderstanding, alright, is that people say that I've got gold, the lady will say, but I only got tola or body, or I only got 2.5 or 4 body. Yeah? They'll say, I haven't got 7.5 tola. I haven't got 87.48 what? Grams of what? Gold. So because I've not got 87.48 grams of gold, no zakat is wajib on us. Yeah, that's what they say. But that's only if they just have gold. Only if they just have gold. But if they have cash on them or silver on them, then they have to combine it, and then they have to see if wherever nisab it is, then they have to value it. Then they have to value it. You got this, Hassan? Yeah? Yeah, got it. This nisab has to be, you have to be the owner, milk and taman. Why do I say that? Now, for instance, the masjid has money. You have to pay zakat on that because no one is the owner of it. Understand? Same with any other waqf money. Waqf money. Yeah, it has to be waqf.
तो वक़्फ़ के ऊपर नहीं ज़कात,
No waqf.
मस्जिद वाले में भी।
Nee. Wahala, yeah. Can I just I'll explain that somewhere else, sorry. Yeah. So Wahala Ali, a whole year has to circulate on it. Now, two things you have to understand on this. Number one, when we say the whole year has to circulate on it, the year is according to Islamic month. What month? You got this, silly boys. Can I rub this off?
Yes.
Yeah. Islamic month. Now, what was the nisab? It make it 1,152 pound, was it? Yeah. So this month is what month is we run in Shaban? You want to make Ramadan? So in up to Ramadan, or I had no money. In Ramadan, I had no money. Suddenly, Khairul Islam give me 1,200 pound. Don't give it to me, but yes. Yeah, I got 1,200 pound. Have I got the nisab now? Yeah. Now I've got the nisab now in this Ramadan, yeah, which is 1447, yeah, yeah. Now in next Ramadan, on the first of Ramadan, I have to see how much money I got. In between, I don't look at what happened. All the fluctuation up and down, all right, like this. Don't worry about that. Or zero. Yeah? Yeah? This
So
is
this Ramadan, I don't have to pay because it's come just now.
yeah, just now. Not for this Ramadan till the next Ramadan. When the next Ramadan came, all right, I got £2 million. Yeah? The one inshallah get it. Yeah? Got £2 million. So now what's gonna happen, all right? Because I already had the nisab in last Ramadan, I'm gonna pay zakat on what? £2 million. Not one day before that, before Ramadan, I was zero. All right, for instance, I was what? Zero. Now I got 2 million. Do I pay zakat on a 2 million or nothing? 2 million. Yeah? Understand? Got this? That's one example. The next example.
I didn't understand that. If that one, before Ramadan, it was zero, and we got 2 million suddenly. So we have to pay zakat on that.
Yeah, because we got it on the same date I got owner of nisab. Yeah. Because on the first of Ramadan, I had 200 pound in 1447, and in 1448, I got 2 million pound on the first of Ramadan. So because the whole year circulated on the nisab, now I have to pay zakat on that.
If
Yeah.
that 1200 is finished before Ramadan or in Ramadan, still I have to pay zakat and then
No, if you have nothing left, nothing.
then nothing.
Nothing.
If that is available in this Ramadan,
Yeah.
then
Yeah. If that or more than that is available, yeah, then let me.
so zakat will be 2 million and plus that.
Yeah. No, not that, because I got 2
Including.
million. Just
Yeah,
got 2 million.
including that.
Yeah. Yeah. The other example I give is it's 1,200 pound, and this Ramadan come on the next 1448 Ramadan come. I only have 200 pound. Do I give zakat? No zakat. Yeah. Understand? Now, what was your question, Malak?
My question was, so is it almost irrelevant what I had in first of Ramadan 1447, because that doesn't affect my zakat of 1448? Because what matters is how much money do I have on the first of Ramadan of 1448?
Yeah, yeah.
So even if I had £0 on the first of Ramadan 1447, but I ended up with suddenly £2 million on the first of Ramadan 1448, I pay zakat on the 2 million.
No. Zakat would only get compulsory once you have the nisab. That's the first condition. To kick in that category of paying zakat in it, you have to be the owner of nisab.
At the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I see.
Any time of the year.
I see.
So for not just some of the, I just give example. For instance, in Rajab, the month before, in Rajab last year, all right, I got 10,000 pounds. Yeah? Understand? And before this Rajab, I never had any money. Islamic month, innit? Yeah? Now, because I've kicked in the nisab, innit? I've got the nisab once. Yeah? It's more than, it's a nisab of what? Silver. Or you make it nisab of what? Gold. 12,000 pounds. Yeah? Yeah? To make you happy. Yeah? Now, next Rajab, I have to see. Next Rajab. So this year Rajab was in what you call it in January. Yeah. Next year Rajab will be back in December. Yeah. So next year Rajab in December, whatever Rajab is, alright, I have to see how much I got. So if I have more than we got 1,100 pound, I have to pay zakat on whatever I have. If I have less than nisab, alright, then I don't have to pay zakat. I'm gone out of the category again.
So
You get it?
yeah, so the calendar year, or is the Islamic calendar year, starts from whenever your nisab kicks in.
Yeah. Once you have the nisab, to start, get the ball rolling, alright, you have to have the nisab once.
Because what most people tend to do is from first of Ramadan to first of Ramadan they pay the zakat.
No. It's not like that. It's whenever you
Whenever you go into nisab.
Yeah. I'm coming to your question. Yes, what's the question?
A question had Ustad. Say that person every first of Ramadan they pay the zakat. First of Ramadan. All of a sudden, one come the first of Ramadan, they're not in the nisab value, so they don't pay zakat that year.
Yeah.
But in say Dhul Hijjah, Dhul Qa'dah, the nisab value comes back in. Is that now the start of the new year?
New Year starts
So
again.
next,
From Dhul Hijjah to next Dhul Hijjah. Yeah? Is that clear?
Yeah.
So for instance, alright,
What if you're not sure what month Islamically you got the nisab?
you try your best, then you just make an andaza, a roughly amount day. Like for instance, you think so for instance, you're getting married. Yeah? Yeah? You got married in, we call it Shawwal. Before that, right, you had no gold. But once you're getting married on Shawwal, alright, everyone gives you gold. Yeah? Yeah? You got about 900 grams of gold. Yeah? You're the owner of the ground. So now, next Shawwal, because before this you were zero, poor. When you're not married, you're poor. Alright? Once you get married, Allah makes you rich. Quran says, in yakunu fuqara, yughnihimullah. Yeah, Quran says, in it, now I'm writing it. Yeah. See, I'm writing it. Before that, you're poor. Alright? So, you're zero before Shawwal. Suddenly, when they said you're getting married in Shawwal, you got 900 grams. You're the owner, alright? At the moment, alright? Be happy. Next Shawwal, alright, you look what you have. If you have 9 or plus, inshallah, you'll have 900 plus, alright? Whatever you have, alright, you have 1200 grams of gold, alright? You pay zakat on the 1200 gram gold. You have to pay 2.5% of that. Yeah? Gee.
As long as there's fluctuations in the year.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't matter if you're zero the day before you on the year you get £100,000. That's the
Yeah. The fluctuation of the middle already doesn't make no difference. Now, can I carry on here? Now the question which you're gonna ask in a few seconds, or you're not gonna ask, Mali Mustafad. Mali Mustafad means that in between of the year, I suddenly you got more money. If it's the same kind, alright, same kind of whatever you had from the beginning, alright, you have to pay zakat on that. What did I mean? In Ramadan, I had 10,000 pounds. Yeah? Understand? Then, not in Ramadan, Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah. Nothing. Yeah? Or according to you, in Dhul Hijjah, I went to Hajj, alright, and I got 50,000 pounds. That's what you think, so again. Yeah? So I'll make you happy. So in 10,000 pounds in Ramadan, then in Dhul Hijjah, 50,000 pounds. Yeah? Now this is about 6 months after Ramadan. Yeah? 4 months after Ramadan, yeah? And at the end of the year, when I looked at in the next Ramadan, I got 80,000 pounds. Yeah? Understand? Now, do I add this to that, or do I just give zakat on the year one of this 10,000 pounds, which is what? Till next Ramadan. Now, I got 60,000 pounds, yeah? Yeah? So, do I add this 10,000 pounds? Do I give zakat on the 10,000 pounds or on the 60,000 pounds? Which came after 4 months.
60. You mean next year's?
Yeah, next Ramadan.
So next Ramadan will be.
This 50,000 come in the middle of the year, which is called Mali Mustafad, and is the same category kind of what? Money, wealth. So do I pay on the 60,000 pound or just the 10,000 pound, which is a whole year?
60,000.
Yeah. So 60. This is called Mali Mustafad, alright? Yeah, if it's same category, I'm saying that. Why did I say that? Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anuma, Ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala anuma, and Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala give fatwa on this. They say, Ibn Abbas, Ibn Masud, Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anuma say that on Mali Mustafad, whatever it ends up at the end, you have to pay zakat on it. But it has to be the same category, same kind. I got 10,000 pound worth of gold in Ramadan. Suddenly, I got 100 camels in the middle of the year. So at the end of Ramadan, alright, when I calculate, I just pay zakat on whatever gold I've got now. But the camels which I got 100 camels, alright, I have to calculate that separate. That their year will start separate because it's not the same jins. Understand? I know. I just want to explain this because there's ikhtilaf on this, but I don't want to go into details too much. Understand?
Would it be a problem if we did calculate it all together?
It's not a problem. It's good. It's very good. You get more barakat. Yeah? Got the first question. You got this? Yeah? Yeah? ومن كان عليه دين محيط بمالي فلا زكاة. Alright. This all nisab, when you're owner of this has to be free from your necessity, day to day necessity, and also free from dain. And what dain means? What debt. I'll explain this now. Ji.
It's on the point of debt. Remember you telling us that if somebody owes us money.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Yeah, let me. Dain kawi, dain mutawassit. You asked the question the other day. Yeah, coming to that. Let ask questions like this so I know what to cover, right? So I'm trying to make as simple as I can, inshallah. I'm not covering all the book. I'm just covering what I think so that we need it. So for instance, I've got 15,000 pounds. Yeah? I got 15,000 pounds. I haven't got this, so don't worry, alright? So I got 15,000 example. I got 15,000 pounds under the carpet. Take the matters, let's go to the carpet now. Under the carpet, I got 15,000 pounds. Have I got the nisab? Yeah? But on the other side, I owe 20,000 pounds to a private individual. So do I have to pay zakat on the 15,000 pounds? No. Yes? No zakat on the private, I said, right? Yeah?
What if you have to pay that private individual over time? They don't want the money back straight away.
They can ask any time. You owe me 10,000 pounds. So I will say you can pay me 1 year back, but if I say today, do you have to pay me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to pay you straight away. You get Shariat says, alright, if you owe anyone money, if they even say, alright, just cash money, alright, and they appoint a date that you're gonna ask me after 2 months, and I ask you today, I need it, you have to pay. Yeah? There's a difference between if you buy some goods and then you appoint a time, then you have to keep to your thing. That's a different thing. That's dain. This is qaras. There's a difference between dain and qaras, small qaras. Ready? You understand? You got this? Now the other question is that I say private individual. Alright? Someone's got 50,000 pounds under the mattress. And they got a loan about 100,000 pounds. Yeah? Understand? 100,000 pound of what? Loan. Now, if the person's got 100,000 pound loan, Does he have to pay zakat on this 50,000 pound or not? That's the question. Yeah? It's true. Either we say because he's paying this 500 pound every month. For the whole year, how much does he have to pay? 6,000. 6,000? Yeah, for the whole year he's paying 6,000. So either we say because he's got 50,000 pound, but he's got a loan of 100,000 pound. So he shouldn't pay zakat. That's one way of saying. Or we say because he's not paying all together, he doesn't have to pay. He has to pay in 25 years, so no zakat on him. He has to pay zakat on the 50,000 totally on that. But ulama has written, whatever amount of debt he has to give from this year to next year, right, you deduct that. And the rest he has to pay zakat on. So for instance, he has to pay every month 500 pound. And in this Ramadan, he's got 50,000 pound. So 500 pound till next Ramadan is 6,000 pound. Yeah? So he deducts 6,000 pound from here, from 50,000 pound. So which is what? 44,000 pound. Now zakat, how much does he have to give zakat on? The 44,000 pound. Is that clear? Yes.
What if somebody doesn't know the value? Say, for example, sometimes he may pay £500, another month he pays £600.
He just makes an approximate thing in it. The lowest he could. Does that fluctuate? I don't think so. That fluctuates. It keeps the same amount.
Let's say like a phone bill.
Phone bill is normally that's not a currency in it. That's not a currency. You can't put that in there. No. You can't do that. Stop cheating now. Sure. Yeah. You wanna do frame with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Stop it.
What you mean, Mufti Tariq, is that when you have a loan, right, you could give more in advance.
Yeah.
Right? For example, 1 month, normally you pay £50 a month, that's scheduled, right?
Mm-hmm.
For 1 month, you have extra money, you might give £100 to finish up his debt.
Yeah, if you do that, that's different, isn't it? If you know you're going to do that, then you can deduct that too.
If somebody like किराए के ऊपर मकान दिया हुआ है और उसमें वो जो लुक आफ्टर करते हैं उनको भी पैसे देना है, तो अगर 2 लाख आए तो वो जो उसके देते हैं उसके ऊपर ज़कात है कि नहीं?
वो अभी जो दिए ना वो है, लेकिन जो बाद में देंगे उस पर ज़कात देना पड़ेगा.
अच्छा.
हाँ.
जो उसने पूरा साल हमारा काम किया
वो तो दे दिया आपने ना.
हाँ, वो दे दिया.
हाँ, वो दे दिया. फिर वो जो बच गया तो उस पर ज़कात.
समझ गया. उनको जो देना है वो निकालना है.
जी वो तो देना.
लेकिन सब 2 लाख है वो 20,000 उनको देना तो 1 लाख 80,000.
जी वो निकालना होगा. वो तो निकालना, वो कर्ज है. वो तो कर्ज है ना जो काम किया. Got this, boys?
If we're deducting the debt for the next 12 months,
which you already got on you,
which I've already got on
yeah.
me, but would we therefore add the income that's going to come in for the next 12 months then?
That's income for the next year. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Now, I'm going to explain the rule regulation. There's 2 types of mal. I've said this before too. Mal nami and mal ghairi nami. Nami, I don't know, N-A-M, ghair, ghairi nami. So in Arabic it will be ghairi nami, nami. Alright? And put a mal there. Mal nami, mal ghairi nami. Alright? Don't write yet, just understand. Malinami means that wealth which exceeds. Yeah? According to Shariat and normal things. Ghairi nami means that which does not fluctuate. and it does not exceed. Sometimes goes down. Now, will you understand this? Look, for instance, I'll give you an example. Gold and silver and machinery items, that is exceeding. It exceeds every year. Yeah? Gold, silver, and machinery business items. So that's known as Malinami. Yeah? So this is very important for the sisters to know too. Nami means, alright, that does not exceed. Yeah? So for instance, alright, Hassan, I have to pick on you, alright, sorry. Hassan's got 2 suitcases of suits. Yeah? 2 full suitcases. And he's not using them. It's not to sell anything, but he kept them because he loves suits and he's gonna keep them whenever. Yeah? So that is Mali Nami. Understand?
So
Yeah?
it doesn't increase in
It
value.
doesn't increase. Oh yeah? So in Sharia it is not Mali Nami. Yeah? Munaim's got 10 houses. I'll give it to the boys. He got 10 houses. You haven't got them for business. You're not selling and buying. You're to let, you got them to let, but that wealth is according to Sharia is Mali. Ghairi Nami is not Nami.
Houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Sharia is what? Ghairi Nami is not Nami. Yeah, it's not to buy and sell, is it? Yeah? So now, will you understand why? I say this again. Malinami is that wealth which exceeds, especially like gold in Sharia, alright? Silver, cash, alright? And business items, anything business related. I got 50 phones which I'm selling. I got a shop of selling what? Phones. Understand? So that's Mali Nami. Ghairi Nami which does not exceed. You are with me? Yeah? So the rule regulation is zakat will be compulsory on Malin Nami. You need this for Sadaqatul Fitr too, alright? So remember this. Zakat is compulsory on Malin Nami, not on Ghairi Nami.
So is it Malinami? Is that things you trade in?
Number 1 is trading. Number 2 is gold. Number 3 is silver. And the cash you have under your mattress.
Okay, but I mean.
Or behind the plasterboard.
Okay. So the 10 property example that you gave, obviously property, as we know, increases in value.
Increases
but I'm not selling it.
You're not selling and buying.
No.
If you bought a house to sell, you bought a house to sell. On the moment you bought it to sell. So in Sharia, that's known as trading. So now you have to give zakat on the value of the house. Let me explain this a bit more. You got this point? All this, you got the Malinami, Ghainami. Can I come now? The book is saying, alright, that the house you're living in, the clothes you have, and the cars you have, and anything else you have which is in your use or not in your use, alright, if it's ghairi nami, no zakat on that. Zakat is only on that wealth which is nami. Now, Bilal, you got married and your wife bought 10 suitcases of clothes. The value of one suit is £2,000. I'm not joking, that's how it is. Alright? After 1 year, does she have to give zakat on the clothes she bought with her?
She bought, trade and sell them, yeah.
Yeah, if she's trading and selling, then zakat on that. Otherwise, no zakat on that. That's Mali Nabi. For instance, Abu Bakr, you got married, or your wife brought, what do you call him? Shoes, or no, go to something which is like dishes. Yeah? She bought the whole dinner set. She got 10 dinner sets, all right? After one, you're not using them. They're in the showcase. Yeah? And no one's allowed to use them. That's my wedding dishes and my wedding dinner set. After 1 year, do we pay zakat on that? Is it for trading? Is it gold? Is it silver? It's worth a lot, but no zakat on that. They don't look. Two things I'm going to try to explain to you later on too. And remember what I said. So Nami, this is Ghairi Nami, no zakat has to be paid on them. Alright? Different thing, could they take zakat or not? That's a different topic totally. Yeah? I'm gonna come to that. Understand? No zakat on that. Yeah? I just want to cover one more thing, alright? Nothing. Two things, sorry. One thing is zakat on any wealth or you get, zakat is on that. So someone can say, all right, I don't want to go in detail. For instance, all right, I'm 70 years old and I get a pension. I got a pension of £70,000 or whatever in one go all. £70,000. So do I pay zakat on that £70,000? For the whole 40 years.
You have the cash.
You know that every year they're going to give me £10,000. So in year 1445, my pension started. And 1445, I had £5,000. 1446, I had another £10,000, £15,000. And then 1447, I suddenly got £70,000. So it builds up in it slowly. Do you pay zakat on the previous years? Or do you pay on the zakat or whatever you got now?
Whatever you have at the end of the 12 zakatable months.
But what about the 14, 41, 42, 43, 44? You have something built up in your kitty when you pay pension.
That's not in your hand, though, is it? So once it comes to you, then yes.
That wasn't accessible to you at the time in the kitty.
Yes.
So
You guys are called Mufti, sorry.
if you didn't know, and then later on you found out, would you pay at the end?
Yeah.
And then if you knew as £10,000, you give it as every year?
No. So zakat, this is called Daini. It's called Daini Mutawassit or Daini Da'if, it's called. Alright? You pay zakat on the end of whatever you got now. If you already have a nisab, then you add it to that nisab. But if you did not have nisab, then when the whole year of the 70,000 circulates on it, then you pay zakat on that. Fire Hassan, you got zero here now. Yeah? Suddenly they decide to give you some money, pension, £70,000. Before that, you have nothing. Now you have to wait for the whole year to circulate on this nisab, £1,100. All right. Look in next Ramadan, all right, whatever you got it. If you have the nisab, this year in Ramadan you got £70,000. Then what you done is you got yourself married again. You spend £70,000 all on that nikah. And when the next Ramadan comes, you have zero again. So is zakat on it? No. Because we did have nisab on it. So you have to have nisab once. Yeah? But you don't have to give it in the previous year. Why I say, alright, when I said dain, alright, dain qawi. There's three categories of dain. How many categories of dain? Dain means qaraz. Dain qawi, dain mutawassit, or dain zaif. I'll come to this now. Dain qawi, the solid, the sound one is that I have lended some money to £50,000 to you, Hassan. Now that is dain qawi. If I know you're going to give it back to me, so every year when nisab comes on, when my zakatable year comes, all right, I have to pay zakat on that £50,000. When I'm got it, I've lended £50,000 to you, and obviously I got nisab now, innit? You got 50,000. I've lent out to 50,000
I
pounds.
borrowed 50,000.
Yeah, you borrowed 50,000 pounds from me. All right. Now this is Daily Kawi. When my month of zakat comes, I have to pay zakat on the 50,000 pound I got by you, and behind the wall I got 100,000 pound pay zakat on all that.
Okay, so you have to pay the 50,000 because you lent it to me.
Yeah.
But I have to pay 50,000.
You don't have to pay
You're
zakat
a
on that.
private individual, so I don't have to pay that.
Yeah, you don't pay on nothing on that because I lend it to you. Whose money is it?
Yours.
Yes, so mine. No, yours is it? You don't have to pay zakat. You might not have to pay zakat at all because you got that much colors. Got this?
Suppose if he takes something that will be riba.
Yeah, then it's riba. Yeah, then it's riba. Got
Until he pays you back, you have to pay zakat on that. So if somebody they meant to pay you back in 1 year, they don't pay you back. So you take that loan into that debt, that money into consideration. They don't pay you for the second year. You still could take that 50,000 into consideration. They don't pay you the third year. You add
still you pay zakat because when yuqrizullah qardan hasan, you're getting the deeds in it. Allah give you deed, and if I start charging him, that will come what riba, like Ustad said. That will come what interest. Understand? That's one thing.
So what happens if, for example, first Ramadan you had £20,000,
yeah,
and then let's just say do a hijrah,
yeah,
you've given £19,000, or sorry, £19,000.
yeah.
So you only have £1,000 left. When it comes to the first Ramadan, as the second Ramadan, you only have £1,000 in your bank, but you lended out £19,000.
You pay because you're still the owner of the 19 and the 1,000. You pay zakat on the 20,000.
Well, you haven't got enough money to give zakat.
Then you wait, and whenever you have time, because zakat is wajib al tarahi, not wajib al fawr. Wajib al fawr means you have to do straight away. Wajib al tarahi means you have to give it before you die. Anytime before you die. I didn't pay zakat for instance in 1445, 43, 44, and suddenly I realized after 5 years I haven't paid zakat. I paid zakat in the past 5 years. Okay, I'm okay as long as I pay before I die.
So in that instance, because at that second Ramadan you're below the threshold of giving zakat, however, because you got lend some money, technically you have to pay zakat on it. You haven't got it, so you have to wait till you get paid back, and straight away you pay zakat.
You make the intention. Allah give it tawfiq then, inshallah. Yeah.
Does it accumulate, or is it just a one time? So meaning that, for example, let's say he pays you back 5 years later, and during those 5 years you always had beneath the threshold. So as soon as year 5 comes,
but you still got the nisab and you're still the owner of that 19,000 pounds.
So you have to give, for example, the card 2.5 every year, and you have to add it up, or you just give once.
No, add it up every year. Okay. Yeah. Understand? And any other wealth which is not in a return of something, all right? When you get that, then you pay zakat on that. Before that, in between, you don't. For instance, your wife knows my husband's got to pay me mahar about 20,000 pound mahar. Dowry? Yeah. He didn't pay in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 10 years, he realized, oh, the mahar was compulsory on me to pay to my wife. Faraz. He paid the mahar after 20 years to his wife. Now the wife, when she gets that, for instance, 50,000 pound of dowry, she knew the husband owed that to her. Does she have to pay zakat for the previous 20 years on the 50,000 pound or now?
No.
Now. All right. Same with the pension or anything like this. Is that clear? G.
Some people view pension as a saving pot. That'll be different.
That'll be different. It's not a saving pot because you don't know saving. You can't take it out straight away. It's a certain age you have to get to, then they'll give it to you. It's not accessible. You can't access it, could you?
What if it is accessible?
G?
What if it is accessible?
If it's accessible, then that's a different thing. You might have to pay the cut as you go then.
Say what somebody withdrew their pension in the middle of the year, doesn't.
Then they have to pay the cut on that.
As well.
Yeah.
Because I thought anything in the middle of the year doesn't matter.
No, in the middle of the year withdrew it, then you have to calculate with the other wealth in it. Added the total.
Say that Ramadan to Ramadan,
Mm.
and then you withdrew although the pension money is in your salary. As a person withdrew it at the sixth month. They don't give a zakat on it because it's in the middle of the year.
Yeah, but at the end of the year, they see if they still have it. Yeah, it's all what you have at the end of the year. Yeah, understand? And the last thing I want to say is,
Mufti Sahib, can I ask something?
yeah,
That 50,000 dowry she got, Jair's Mar,
yeah.
so she has to pay straight away, or she got to leave it for 1 year.
If she has already nisab, so she added to her nisab. Whenever her year comes, then she has to pay zakat on it. She doesn't have a whole year to pass on that.
Oh,
yeah.
If she didn't have something.
Yeah. The last thing I want to say over here, then after the break, we see, we don't have that much time anyway. The last thing I want to say is that when you pay zakat, you have to have intention. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, "Innamal a'malu binniyat." This hadith has been collected by Imam Bukhari and everyone. That all your deeds are on your intention. So paying zakat, you have to have intention. Now, when could you have intention? You can either make your intention when you're paying to the poor person. I'm giving the zakat to Hassan. At the time when I'm giving the money, I make intention. This is what? For zakat. Number two, as the whole house is full of treasure, and when I'm counting it, all right, I put 2.5% on one side that I have to give zakat on this. Put that in that corner. Now this is zakat. And whenever I pay, I don't have to make intention again because I've put it on one side. Yeah? There's two ways of making intention. Third way is that when I gave it to Hassan, I did not make intention of zakat. But later on realized that Hassan's not going to give me the money anyway. So why don't I just count it what? Zakat. If I know he has not utilized it, I make intention at a time. That's okay too. You got it, Munaim? I gave 2,000 pound to him, zakat. Alright? I gave it to him, 2,000 pound. Then I'm sitting here and he's gone to the park up today. I know he hasn't spent the money yet, have he? Yeah? So I made the intention, that's for what? Zakat. That's okay.
So it's okay, zakat.
Yeah, yeah.
So the entire 2,000 pounds is zakat.
Yeah.
And so
I'll just give an example.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So can you just go through those three intentions?
Intention number one is at the time you pay zakat, you give the money, you made the intention this is for zakat. Yeah. Number two, at the time when you are dividing your wealth, you divided a certain amount for what? Zakat. So that is just for zakat. Number three is at the time you gave the money, you did not make intention of zakat, but you made the intention of zakat before the person has utilized it.
You mentioned something about paying the poor. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that's coming through. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the last one, if they use the wealth already, then
Then you cannot make intention
why is that?
because the money's gone now, and the intention was not there when the money was still alive. Yeah, you have to make intention. Yeah.
We have to tell the person this is zakat or
No, you don't have to tell the person.
And they have to be eligible.
Yeah. Eligible, we're talking about eligible in after the break, all right? The last thing is that you pay how much amount of you have to pay zakat is 2.5%. And the hadith is early on indicated that is all saying what? That you only have to pay 2.5% on your wealth. So and for 100,000 from what you call it, £40, how much zakat you have to pay? £1. Yeah? Yeah. 40th, 2.5%. Right? Yeah.
I have two questions, sir.
Yeah.
For you said Nisab Nani, a business wealth, for example, if a person has properties for rent
Could we do all that after the break? Yeah. Keep the question on. Remember the rent properties. What else? Anything else? After the break, right?
Tax the debt.
Tax the debt. Yeah. I explained that. Right? Yeah.
You touched on the three categories of dain: qawi, mutawassit, and da'if. I don't think we covered the
Mutawassit.
and da'if.
The Zaif is the one, the last one. I give example of what? Mahar, dowry, and what you call a pension nowadays. And Mutawassit is that, someone, you sold something, which is not for what? Trading. You had this book. This is not your job to sell it. I forgot to put this on. It's okay. Yeah. It's not for trading. Yeah. And you sold it, and that person owes you money. That's Mutawassit. So whenever you get the money, you pay zakat on that. And you have to pay for the previous year too. It's better to pay as you go.
Oh, sorry, before I make it quick.
Boys, have a break. And the girls, yeah.
Just quickly, if I don't own any gold or silver,
Until 3 o'clock, yeah, honey.
if I don't own any gold or silver, I pay zakat on the cash that is amounts to minimum of silver, yes?
Yeah.
Of 600
Yeah.
grams.
Yeah. Have a break, boys and girls. And if you have any questions, at the end, inshallah ta'ala, if the ladies have any question,
الله لا إله إلا هو له الأسماء